The sun is shining and there's not a cloud in the sky. It's the absolute perfect day for a summer party, and you're all invited. But before we get started, I'm gonna head down to Let's Party here in Savannah, where my girlfriend Letice is gonna show me how to set the perfect party table. And then it's back to the kitchen to serve up my savory salmon salad and everybody's favorite summer side dish, potato salad. But this one's made Italian style. And then next I'm fixing my delicious marinated tomatoes that I plucked fresh from the garden. And finally, what better way to enjoy the fruits of summer than with a fresh blueberry tart? So y'all pack up your beach blanket and don't forget your sunscreen, cause today we're cooking up a beach party. It's just beach days are on the way, and I am so ready to party after that cold winter we had. And I've got some wonderful picnic items for you today. But not only are we gonna jazz up our food, we're gonna jazz up the decoration. So you'll wanna come with me. Let's go, let's get going. Now when I throw my own summer fiesta, Let's Party is where I come to get all my party basics. They have tons of invitations, plates, napkins, and just a whole bunch of decorative pieces. And y'all know nothing says summer like all these beautiful bright colors. My friend Letice is going to show me a fun way to help decorate my table for summer. A good tip she gave me was to pick out colors that can be reused again and again. Like this red you can reuse for the holidays, and yellow is great for both summer and fall. And I just couldn't believe this little trick. All she did was take 2 different color napkins and tie them together with a colorful ribbon. And did you know she's using just an ordinary beach towel as a tablecloth? Never even thought of that, but what a great idea. The perfect thing about these decorations, though, is they're just so inexpensive and reusable. Thanks, Letice, you've inspired me, girl. I can hardly wait to dress up my own summer fiesta. Letice has really gotten me in a party mood at that store. She's got me some great things in this bag, and I hope I can do them justice. The dogs are out there just frolicking because they know I'm fixing to take them to the beach. They're so excited. But before we go to the beach, I want to show you one of my favorite summer salads, a salmon salad, and to go with it, Italian potatoes that are almost as good as my mashed potatoes. For this recipe, you can use your leftover salmon. If you've grilled salmon on the grill the night before, you can use it to make this salad with and make this meal just come together very fast and easy. And the first thing I'm gonna do is add cucumbers that I've diced up. And then I've got red diced bell pepper. And we've got just a regular yellow onion. And to this, we're gonna sprinkle in a little cayenne. Now, I'm not gonna use too much. And I'm gonna use a little salt. And then I'm gonna add plain old mayonnaise to it. And we're just gonna mix that up just like that. So all I'm gonna do is take our salmon and I'm just gonna flake it. Now, I like mine in chunks. I don't want it as flaky as like canned tuna. So I'm gonna just chunk this up just like that. Now all we're gonna do is take our eggs, and my boiled eggs, I like to just crush them with my hands. Perfect. All right, now all we're gonna do is fold in our mayonnaise and our vegetables. Now this is just a good, basic, simple recipe, and you can jazz this up any way you like. But personally, I like simpler foods. I'm just a simple girl, so that's the way I like it. Now I'm gonna just squirt a little fresh lemon over it. Look how pretty that looks. See your big chunks of fish in there? Okay, so all I want to add to mine is some fresh ground pepper. And I like lots of pepper with that. Perfect. Now I'm going to move on to our Italian potatoes. These are great because you're not supposed to refrigerate them after you get them ready. So this is another one of those ideal dishes for picnicking. So we're just going to use these red potatoes. So all we're going to do is fill this up with hot water. And we're going to cook them until they're kind of fork tender. You can insert a knife in them, and if it goes all the way through, then they're ready. That's perfect. All right. And in the meantime, I'm going to slip our salmon onto our dish. The last time I made this, I used actually some leftover salmon that Michael had cooked on the grill. Maybe I need to taste it out of the bowl so they won't know I've been in that. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it? This is so good. The flavors are so simple. And when we come back, I'm going to show you how to finish up those Italian potatoes, and we're going to do marinated tomatoes. I'm going to show you how to turn even one of those yucky winter tomatoes into a delectable summer tomato. Okay, if y'all are ready, I want to show you how to make the marinade for these tomatoes. We're going to start with 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. And we're going to take fresh chopped parsley, a little sugar, a little garlic salt, and a little seasoning salt. You'll want to use a good brand. And really, I would prefer to use a fresh thyme, but I'm going to have to use my dried. And we're going to add a little red wine vinegar and a little black pepper. And we're just going to whisk that together. All right, we're going to take just regular tomatoes, and we're going to cut them into wedges of 6. And you could actually use the cherry tomatoes. All right, so we've got our tomatoes. And I'm going to give this another whisk, and I'm just going to pour this over our tomatoes. This works good too if you put it in a jar and shake it all up. That's real easy to manhandle. Now, I like a little green onions with mine. I like the color that it gives it. So I'm just going to put a few tops in there. I'm going to just toss this all together, and I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and I'm actually going to let it marinate overnight. We're just going to dump it in a bag. You know how during the winter you can count on them being pretty flavorless. Well, even that flavorless tomato is going to be wonderful in this marinade. So all I have to do now is stick this in the fridge, and we're going to move on to our Italian potatoes. Our potatoes should be ready. Oh yeah, they look good. Now I'm just going to take these over here and drain them. Watch it, Gertie. I'm used to working around dogs and kids, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay. With Gertie's help, I was able to do it. And we're just going to take our potatoes and cut them up into chunks. Now, I like these cut a little bit bigger than what I would cut for potato salad. I make these a little bit chunkier. Y'all know that I'm an old-timey home cook, and I might not always do things the way that they properly should be done, like cutting this in my hands, but I've done it so many years, and it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Ain't that right, Gertie? Yes, Gertie said yes. So if you cut your potatoes like I do, be careful. All right, let's start on the marinade now for the potatoes. We're going to start with a 1/2 cup of tarragon vinegar and a 1/2 teaspoon of dried mustard. And we're gonna do a tablespoon of Worcestershire, pinch of salt, well, maybe 2 pinches, and fresh parsley. And I've got some garlic cloves that I'm gonna mash them just a little bit and slice them and put over in here. Okay, and I've got 3 cloves of fresh garlic. And I was just about to forget the sugar. I'm gonna put, oh gosh, about a tablespoon in there. I'm gonna put some black pepper. And then after this marinates on the counter, you can taste it and see if there's anything else that you want to add to it. If you think it's a little flat for you, then come back and correct your seasonings. All right, now I'm just gonna pour that over. And some green onions. And I'm gonna toss this around. And I don't know if you remember me telling you earlier that we're actually gonna let this sit out on the counter. You don't refrigerate this. And you could do it a minimum of 4 hours. And you'll wanna come stir it about every hour. All right, now for the last step, I'm gonna put about a cup of olive oil over that. Now you could actually put your oil in with all your other ingredients. I just kind of like to pour it over there last. See how good that looks? I think I'm gonna dip me up a little to sample it, even though I know it hadn't been 4 hours. All right, and I've had some tomatoes marinating overnight here. I'm gonna just put a few out here. These are so good. They have just soaked up all that wonderful marinade. I think I'm gonna take a little oregano and just kind of prop it up there. I think all these salads need now is maybe just Paula's lips. When we add the salmon salad, it's gonna make a fabulous cold plate, but y'all ain't seen the best part. Cause come back for fresh blueberry tarts. Ain't nothing like a tart on the beach. All right, I'm getting this tart ready for the beach. And this is another one of those easy, simple, but delicious recipes. Now, I was just chopping my pecans because I'm actually gonna press those down into our crust because they're just so good in the crust of this tart. Now, I'm just putting flour into the food processor. And this is powdered sugar. And we can't have a tart without a little butter. All right. All right, I'm gonna pulsate it. And we're gonna hit this until it just forms a ball. All right. You can see the way it's formed itself into a ball. So it's ready to take out of there. And y'all be careful when you're removing your blades from your food processor because they're terribly sharp. All right, now I wanna talk about my pan for a minute. This is actually a quiche pan / tart pan, and the bottom comes out so you're not gonna be messed up when you go to remove your tart from the pan. And this is non-stick, so I'm not even gonna spray it, and I actually don't think it would need a lot of spray anyway because of all the butter. All we're gonna do is just put this in the pan and pat it out. The important thing is to get your crust even and get it pushed back into the little waves. All right, so I'm just gonna sprinkle those pecans around. I'm just gonna spread them out. All right, our pan's ready. Now I'm gonna put this into a preheated 350-degree oven, and we're gonna bake this for about 10 to 12 minutes. So I've got one that's already cooled over here, and we're gonna finish putting it together. See how pretty it browned, and I can push up the bottom, and you can see we're not gonna have any problems. You know, sometimes when you make pies and you go to cut that first piece, it's so hard to get out. Well, this is just real simple in the Tart pan. Now, all we're gonna do is take 2 3-ounce packages of cream cheese and some powdered sugar, and we're gonna cream those together. Now, you'll want your cream cheese to be at room temperature so it won't be so hard to beat. Okie doke. And this is just powdered sugar. All right, now we're gonna turn this on, and I'm actually gonna cover that just for a few minutes so that powdered sugar won't go everywhere. All right, now while that's beating up, I've got some whipping cream, some sweetened whipped cream that we're gonna fold into this and put it into our Tart pan. All right, so I'm gonna blow it out for a minute and try to keep that powdered sugar in there. Yeah, and it's coming along. Our cream cheese actually could have been maybe just a little bit softer. All right. All right, so we're just gonna fold in our whipped cream until we get that nice and incorporated. And it may take a minute because that cream cheese is a little stiffer than the whipped cream. Okay, now I've got the cream cheese incorporated. So we're just gonna come over here. All right, and we're just gonna spread that over those nice toasted pecans. Now you can pack this up and take this to the beach just like this, and it might transport easier if you do it this way. And then when you get there, you can add your blueberry pie filling to the top of it. I can't wait that long. This is an ordinary blueberry pie filling. So doesn't that look delicious? All right, we've got this all ready, and I'm gonna stick this one in the refrigerator and let it set because that whipping cream is still just a little soft. But I've got another one ready right here. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. And let's see how easy this one's gonna come out. Look at that. Isn't that great? It's actually prettier than a pie, isn't it? I just love doing tarts once in a while. Oh, and I'm gonna have to sample this one. And I'm gonna be very careful. Okay, I think I've gotten him pretty loose. All right, let's see if we have any luck getting him coming out clean. And I don't know why I'm bothering garnishing him. You know I'm fixing to have me a piece. I think I'm gonna put a little whipped cream on top of him. Oh, a quick, easy cross between a cheesecake and a pie. Oh, that crust was nice and crispy. It's just delicious. I just love those pecans. Y'all stick around because when we come back, I'm gonna show you how to make a chaser for this blueberry tart. Now, we can't have a day at the beach without something really tasty to drink. So I have mixed up a quick punch. It's 1 part cranberry juice, 1 part vodka, 1 part Peachtree schnapps, to 3 parts of pineapple juice. So in order to transport this to the beach, I have these cute little cups. Now, I'm not gonna fill it all the way up to the top because we're gonna put these in the freezer, and it comes with great little lids with a hole in the top for these cute little straws. Now, I'm actually gonna freeze them with the straw in it. So it'll already have the hole there and the straw will slip right back down in it. After it's frozen, I'm gonna take the straw out and I'm gonna cover the top with saran wrap and put the lid back on. In fact, I have some that's already done here. You just come in and put the saran wrap on them, snap the lid back on, throw them in your cooler, and they're gonna help keep our food nice and chilled. Now, not only are these cocktails gonna keep our food cold, I've also got some frozen water, here in the freezer that I'm gonna throw in the cooler to help keep our food cold. And don't forget, if you're taking the children to the beach, throw them in plenty of flavored sodas and ice waters and orange juices because the beach can get awfully hot and make you thirsty. I wanted y'all to see the final menu before I packed it away in our basket. The salmon salad and the marinated tomatoes and the Italian potatoes and that blueberry tart. They make for a fabulous beach celebration. And the colored paper plates and the cute little napkins are just adorable. So I can't hardly wait to get the dogs and the children and get out on the beach. We're gonna have a great time today. And so until next time, America, I send y'all best dishes and love from my beach picnic to yours.